Hi guys, I hope everyone is well and thank you for tuning in to the Total Waterpolo Podcast. I have to apologise really for such a long gap between our last show, which was with Rebecca Parks. I was a bit unwell and my voice was pretty dodgy, but also we've been really busy with World Leagues, the end of seasons, we've got Champions League coming up, so getting guests has been a little bit tricky, but we should be back on our normal routine now, and I just want to thank you guys, the listeners, for your patience, and I hope it was worth the wait for our guest this week, who reads the game so well. He's really versatile. He's a fantastic athlete, and he's a mature talent way beyond his years. I think he made his debut for France and in the Champions League for Marseille when he was just 15. He's a future star of European water polo, and he will no doubt be a poster boy for French water polo for the Paris 2024 Olympics. Today we welcome Thomas Vernoux. Now it's really exciting to have him, and I hope you enjoy listening to the show. Just a few side notes just before we start. You'll see there's been a lot of freebies handed out recently on Total Waterpolo, thanks to our Wear Water Polo site, and I'll keep you posted on a little bit more of that because we'll have a few promotional events coming up on this podcast. But in the meantime, please make sure you take full advantage of our podcast discount code, podcast10, for 10% off at Wear Water Polo. So that's podcast10. Put that in at the checkout for some money off. And of course, if you can, only if you can, don't beat yourselves out, but if you can review, like or share the show, that is massively appreciated. But enough of that, we've got a really nice lengthy chat with the French superstar Thomas Vernoux. Bienvenue to Thomas Vernoux. Welcome to the Total Waterpolo Podcast. Are you well?
Hi, hello James, hello everyone. I'm fine. We just finished training. We have a bit of rest last few days, so now I'm feeling great. And you?
Yeah, I'm good, and I'm so delighted to finally have you on the show. And I know loads of people are really interested to hear what you've got to say. We've got so many questions, and let's get on straight on with it. You said you've had a bit of training and then maybe having a bit of a rest. It's probably warranted because you've been quite busy the last few weeks. I think we'll start with perhaps the World League. We did get a question on Instagram from v.behomi who asks, how do you reflect on the World League performance, obviously last week in Podgorica? How did you find it?
It's a bit complicated to answer the question because obviously, as everyone saw this, we didn't won any games, but we are qualified for finals. But the most important of those games was that we played good. Perhaps the problem we had with Hugo, with Kobechak, they were sick, they had COVID, but we played good the first two games. We lost against Montenegro and Croatia, but it was really a good game because we are a new team with a new coach, so I think we played very well. And after the last game was really bad, we didn't play of our level, but I think it's good for mental that we didn't lose everything in this tournament. We went there to progress, and I think we did a lot of progress, but we have a long way to go until Paris and European Champions, every competition until Paris. So we saw that we have to work a lot, and we show a lot of things, and we show that we can enter into this group of 8 teams, and we can win every competition that we'll play.
Yeah, I mean, you referenced it there, Paris. I know that's something that you guys are all very much focused on, and yeah, I do think the French did really well last week. In certainly the games against Montenegro and Croatia too. You only lost by 1 in both of those games, I think. So that's a really good start. going forward. We've got World League, and we'll talk a little bit about the European champs later on. But anyway, that aside, let's go back a few years, shall we, to perhaps your early life. And you obviously come from a very big water poloing family. I mean, in many ways, it is the water polo family, certainly in France. So no need for me to ask how you got into the sport, but can you perhaps tell us maybe your first water polo memory, the first time maybe you got in the pool, or something that sticks out to you?
The first memories I got, it was my first training, my first test. That I think it was with Olivier Chandieu, who is coach in Set in France now, and I did a test with him. And just my memory is that he told me the hours of training the next few days, and I go to tell to my mom what the hours of training. But that's all my first memories. After, the best memories when I was kid was obviously the Habawaba tournament, because there was kids everywhere. It's really a great tournament, and for every kid it's really a great tournament. And when I was kid, that's all my most memories, because there was not a lot of things that I remember from this period.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Although it wasn't that long ago, because it's still mad that you've only really just you've only just left your teenage years really. I did mention it a little bit about your family. Now it's crazy. Your family. I think it starts with, and correct me if I'm wrong, but your grandfather Jean-Pierre Vernoux. He was a professional footballer. Is that right?
Yeah, he played football.
He was good, was he? All right.
He played. I don't remember the team, but he played, and I I remember because he's always telling us that one game, I don't know which game, but he scored 5 goals, I think, and he still has the press article where his name is right with that he scored 5 goals. So I only know this about his career because he stopped early, because he get injured at his knee, I think, and after that they had kids, and he had to work for his family, so he had to stop pretty early football.
And obviously, again, maybe my family tree might be wrong, but he obviously had one of his sons, Jan Vernoux, who obviously you know very well, a coach, and he was a pretty good player himself. Um, and your extended family, obviously, someone that all of our listeners will know very well is Romain, who is your international teammate, club and international teammate. And if I'm correct, obviously your cousin Emma, who is really doing well in the women's game. She's one of the most exciting young players in Europe. I think she's playing for Nice. So you've always had water polo in your family. Um, do you talk about water polo? I mean, what's it like at Christmas dinner when you're all sitting around the table? Is that all you talk about, or do you train with each other at all, or give each other advice?
It's a bit hard to speak about water polo in family, because after we can speak about this with Jan, Roman, and Emma, because we all of us know water polo. But when it's with family, they are all speaking about what they think, what they saw extra, but they don't know really sports. So we start to speak in family, and they can. But in our families, mostly criticize what choice or what the coach made, what the other player made, and always put Roman, me, and Emma on that we are the best player in the team, and if we got every ball, we can win every game. But in not this, don't have vision, the global vision of this. So in family, we try to speak about this, but it's mostly funny because they really don't have the same vision as us by water polo players. So it's a bit hard. It's mostly funny, but and we try to not speak a lot about this, because our all of our life is water polo. So when we are with families, it's better to not speak about this.
Maybe because it dictates your life so much. Maybe take a break from it. Although I can imagine you guys just sitting in the corner having a little chat at the family gatherings. For those that don't know about it, but I believe you've played in Marseille your whole life. Um, what age did you start playing for the club there?
I'm not sure, but it was at 6 or 7, I think. But when I started, I was for 1 year, I think I was playing water polo and rugby. So, but rugby was only on Wednesday, and so it wasn't really not professional, but really important because only one day by weeks it's really not enough, I think. So when I started playing water polo, it was 4 or 5 days a week. So I immediately fell into it, and after when I stopped rugby, I only played water polo. It was at 8 I only played water polo, and after I started to make a great tournament, like I said, Habawaba, the first year I played water polo, it wasn't like rugby, but there was only really small competition, nothing big as Habawaba.
You said there that you at about 8 years old, that's when you maybe stopped rugby and started focusing on water polo. So I just wonder, was maybe becoming an elite player, becoming a professional, always an option at Marseille? Lots of players start when they're young, perhaps not so much in the bigger water polo countries, but becoming professional isn't always an option. But was that always an option for you when you were younger? Was there always like a pathway available for you?
I don't know, because when I was young, I didn't really think about it because it was very far for me. When I started water polo, I didn't think. I just saw players like a dream, like, not even like a dream, but I just saw them like maybe in 15 years I will be able to play at this level, but I didn't think about it a lot. But the problem is that at 14 I started to play with them directly, and so I didn't have the time to think really about it. If I want to be professional, they not I don't know, they put me in this team, and I was professional directly, so I didn't have the option or to think about it extra. But I'm really happy for this, and start at 14 and professional as a professional player is really something amazing, and I am here today because of this. But I didn't think about it never in my life, because I started water polo 5 years after I was professional. So it's a bit hard to think about it when you're young.
Yeah, you said there maybe you just didn't think about it, and then it maybe just happened. Um, and so when you were 14 and 15, it was that when it sort of kicked in. You started to realize, actually, instead of this just being a hobby and a sport, it could be something for you to really have a crack at.
When I started, I directly started, but I had the chance in Marseille or in national teams that every player helped me. That I was for the first 2 or 3 years, I was in school the whole day, and after when I finished, I directly go to the pool and started training with men what between 25 years old and 35. So it's hard when you are that young, you're at 14 to be with people like this, but they really help me like this, and I didn't have to think about it of what I should do, what I do. They just help me, so everything was going in a way I didn't realize what was happening, and it was perfect.
You mentioned there, it's hard to do this elite level of water polo when you're so young and train with the bigger guys and stuff. Obviously, you were still at school, and my understanding in France is basically you go to school, you go home and have lunch, you have a break, and then you go back to school. So, and we actually did get a question on Instagram from Panag5, who asked, how did you do that level of water polo? Well, how did you train water polo and school at the same time?
It's really complicated. I don't know if it will be perfect in English, but I will try. For the first 2 or 3 years, I went to school normally. I don't know, starting between 8 or 9, and I finished at between 3 or 4. And after that, I have a little break, and I went directly to training. It wasn't hard because I had only one training a day. We did a bit more with my cousin because he did the same thing. we did a little bit after training to catch up for swimming, or I don't know, with Paulo Mala, the coach, which one I started. And after that, I had the opportunity with a club that teachers came to the club and teach me between two trainings. So I had training in morning for between 2 or 3 hours. After that, I had the time to lunch, and after for 1 year, I only had 2 hours per day of school with the teacher. So it was perfect for me, because at school I waste a lot of time, because it's really long day, and I had facilities in school. I lost a lot of time because I had something that I know in school. If I had to do sport, I can prefer to do sport than listen things I know in school. So for me, it was perfect to just have I I think 11 hours of school by weeks, and it was enough for me for the first years. And after the second years, it was the final years with a big exam at 18. But this year it was be- between 3 or 4 hours of school a day. So it was really hard, because I had training in the morning for 3 hours. After I stay at the club for 3 and 4 hours, and directly after that I have maybe 30 minutes to take rest, and directly after that I had to go again in trainings until 9. So it was the hardest years i- in my professional career, because I was really really tired at the end of the day, because of school, because of training. And after that I had again to work when I went home. But I don't know it was a luck or no, but this year there was a pandemic with COVID. So I did it for the first 6 months, and after we were at home, and while we had at home, I have the time I wanted to have school, to make training, etc. I don't have a lot of training because we were at home, so I make my day how I wanted. So it allows me to catch up the late I had on school. So it really helped me, and I don't know how I could do without it. But finally I get my exam in September, because we can't pass it in June. So everything was going well until June, until September. And after that, for the since last year, started to study in college, in university in French, something in math and physics, because I know if it's possible or not, but I will try to become an engineer after water polo.
Oh wow, okay. So I mean that it sounded like you were very busy when you were young, and you were trying to juggle school and playing water polo, and obviously best of luck in becoming an engineer. Loads of people have sent in questions about your physique and about diet and your size, and you said that it's hard to be young, 14, 15, and play in the senior teams for many reasons, but primarily with water polo, especially in the men's game, it's the physicality that's so difficult. You are without sounding a bit odd, you are really physically elite, in really really good shape, and it's not always like that. The physiology of water polo players can be very different. You have tall players, shorter, more nimble players. You have players like me who have an extra 20 kilograms that they shouldn't have. Um, but when you were younger, you said you said that you played rugby. Were you always quite a big child, big physically, a strong child, or did actually was this something that you worked on? Were you big for your age? Were you strong for your age? Or as I said, was it a lot of hard work in the gym?
No, no, I always had a good physical, because I have my mom work as a doctor, and so some players, when they go to see her in her office, they see a picture of me when I was young on a walk, and I'm really like I did the musculation, like I'm a bodybuilder. I'm really really massive at this age, and I was maybe two or three, and everyone is speaking about this photo. Always everyone is speaking about this. So well, since I was young, I have this physique that is uh, taller, bigger, and stronger than most of people, and that's helped me a lot in water polo, because it's a sport if you can't mostly when you're young without experience, when you start with a new team, that you have to be a bit stronger than the normal to can play water polo. But after I started musculation long, because when I directly went with a professional, I started musculation with everyone at 14. So obviously I grew up with this, and I'm strong because of this. But my uh, I get it from my father, I think, because he's from Martinique in the Antilles. I don't know in English if this name, but he's black. So everyone is a bit stronger than others. So I think I get it from there.
But do you spend a lot of time in the gym now?
Now it's maybe 1 hour a day, maybe a bit less, but it's 1 hour a day. But it's not always musculation. It's sometimes stretching, sometimes with body weights. It's really mixed, but maybe 1 hour a day, I think.
Yeah, it's just quite funny. We did get a lot of messages, lots of things that perhaps you wouldn't be expected to answer. Javi Estrella 10 said, "I need your diet routine." Earth Crit said, "Can you share about eating and gym program?" T. Petrov 7 says, "Which supplements are best used with training?" I mean, is it something you are very conscious about? Your physical condition?
Uh, I get a lot of questions on Instagram about it, and I try to answer to everyone, but I don't have really a specific diet. Only the thing I can say is that I eat a lot of pasta, really a lot. I think 800 900 grams per day. I only eat this when I'm home, because it's only this like make me feel good in water and good at home. After a meal like this, I know I'm okay for the rest of the day. So I eat a lot of pasta and red meat. I uh, I try to eat vegetables, but for now I know that I don't really need this. I will need this after, because now I'm young. I don't need this a lot, so I try to eat this more and more. But it's not really what I prefer to eat, and I know for now I don't really have to make attention of what I eat. But and I try mostly to avoid fast food, right? Maybe one times a week, a bit less, for one times every 2 weeks, and I try to really avoid this, because since I think this is really bad. I don't like to eat this, but mostly it's not like, good for body. And after a meal like this, you don't have anything in your body, and you are just tired. So I mostly try to avoid this. And for my musculation or gym programs, I don't do specific things. We have a really good physical preparator in Marseille that every day change exercise, try to improve himself and ourselves to get better at in musculation, in stretching, etc. And he's really listening to us, because I can't really say what I do in gym, because it's specific for me, and it won't be the same thing for everyone. So I can say, but I think it's a bit useless. Just try to have the best coach you can have, and listen to him, and speak a lot with him. What are your abilities? What you can do? What you have to improve? What you can't improve with your abilities? What you want to do in water? Because we have the chance that this preparator and our coach speak a lot. So now for the first time, and I don't think a lot of clubs are doing this, they try to make movements in water that you will train in musculation. You can see it. Michael Bodegas posted a video on Instagram recently that he doing, I don't know what's the name of the movement, but some movement that you will do in center position in water. So I think this can be really good because only musculation will just make you bigger, but in water you don't feel it. And by movement like this, I think it's the most
Answer and
important thing.
key is a lot of pasta, cut down on the red meat, and do the movements that you'd be doing in the water in the gym. What one last thing before we do move on. Um, Something that pops up a lot about you, Thomas, is how versatile you are as a player, how you can play in many positions. Um, you're a very intelligent player, but you're so young. You know, uh, you, you're 20. You've been playing Champions League as a teenager. You joined the French national team at a remarkable age. Where do you think that this comes from? And do you think this came from maybe some teachings in your family, maybe someone who guided you when you were younger? Were you always experimenting when you were younger, playing in different positions?
I think it came from by the education of my parents. They really made me free. I did what I want, where I wanted it to go, where I wanted to study, etc. So when I was younger, I was really free, and I think now that I'm a bit conscious about this, I know that I can do everything I want. Every since I want to do something, I know my parents will push me to do it. If I want to do it, they will try to make me feel good to do it and push me to do it. So that can be out of the water or in the water. I'm really free of what I want. Everything I want to do, I will do it 100%. So I think it's that feeling we have in the water. If I am free out of the water, I will be free in water, and I always try to in training. I always want to not really. I'll train seriously, but by doing everything at 100%. But I always try to play a bit to make something I'm not supposed to do, but to make things a bit special. So in the water after in the game, I know that I can do a lot of things. I can play outside, inside. I can do enters. I can defend a bit everywhere. So I try to really mix everything because I know I have the abilities to do it and the physical capacities to do it. So I try to be to have the as many ways as I can. So that's how after I feel in the game that I am mostly a center because that's my prediction position. But I know that if I am outside, I will not necessarily have to go inside to have a wall and to be there for the team. So I think that my education made this me free in the game.
And that's a really good position to be in as a player. I'm a centre forward myself, and I know if I'm stuck on the outside, I'm like, oh god, I'm not really where I want to be. But anyway, let's talk about this season then. There's still a lot to be settled, both in the French league and in the Champions League. I think in a week's time, today actually, you play Tourcoing in the semi-final of the French league. Um, in the regular season, I mean, it's a truly terrific record. You've gone 18 games unbeaten. Um, let's be honest, it is yours to lose, Marseille's to lose. You're massive favourites for the league. How do you make sure that you don't get carried away um, in preparing for those matches for the semi final and the finals?
In the French league is a really uh, hard league now because there are a lot of teams that played in the European Championship. So we managed to didn't lose the last two and a half years. We last time we lost it was in October 2018, so really long time ago. But we try to don't put pressure on us. If we lose, we lose. It's like this. Even if we manage to win last 40 games in French league, even in French Cup, we don't put really a big pressure on us. So now we are in semi-finals, but we know that semi-finals can be really hard. Last year in the final against Noisy, we did a draw their home, and at home we really struggle to win this game. So we know that it won't be really won't be easy if we are not here, if we are not completely prepared. We know that we can not easily, but we can win without really big pressure. But we have to really play good to go there seriously. Even if we play Waco 2 days after and we have to prepare Champions League, the French League is not as easy as it seems when we see the result we did. So we try to prepare this team like like we prepare Waco, and to really stay focused on biggest objective our biggest objective obviously to win Champions League, but our first objective, like last year, is to win the French Championship, and after to make biggest and better things to win Champions League. But the most important thing this year is to win the French Championship.
And I mean no disrespect when I ask this question, but as you said there, you've gone 2.5 years unbeaten. You've gone the whole season unbeaten. You said the French league is a really difficult league. Does it still mean a lot when you win the French Championship? Marseille have been really prolific in recent years. Does it ever get boring? Just really knowing that you're going to be probably winning the league at the end of the season, or is that a dangerous mindset?
It's hard to say because for myself I didn't win that much French League because I only have two French Champions League and two French Cup because for 2 years we lost it in the final and semi-final, and 1 year it was cancelled, so I only won two. So it's not a habit for me to win the French Championship, but for the first one it was my first one, so obviously I was really happy. I was 15, so it was something amazing. And for the last year, I was really happy because it only was my second, but it was a hard season. We struggled to win against Noisy in final, and but most importantly, we for the first time I played the final at home, the second game of final at home. So there was all the public who was here to see us, even it was in the afternoon, so it wasn't completely full, but to play at home the final of the French League with a game like this, with a really hard game with the Noisy, who is a really good team, we really struggle to make this, and until the final minutes, it was a really hard game, and I did a pretty good game this game, so it was really game really important games in my life, and for everyone it was really important. And as we said at the beginning of the meeting before the game, we say that we didn't win the French championship for the last 2 or 4 years, so it was really important for us. And if we lost it again, it would be a really bad thing, because for mentality, for everything, and we had final lots of Champions League after. So for mentalities, it it will be really bad if we lose it. And this year is the same thing. We have to keep in mind that the French Champions League is our objective, and we have to really be happy to win a title like this, even if after the final we have 1 day of rest, and maybe we'll go the day after for preparation of Champions League. So it's really hard for mental to play a final, win something, and 2 day after to be again focused in preparation to go for Champions League. That's what's happened in 2018. It was for LN Euro Cup. We played the final before the final championship, and so we won the Euro Cup. And after that, we feel like the season was finished. We won won European trophies for the first time in French history. So it was something amazing. And we just wanted to the season is finished. We have French championship, but for the mentality, it's really hard to go back to, after games like this against Ashanovi, really high level games. We played very well. It's very hard to play again, to start again, to train, etc. And that's how we lost we lost against Strasbourg. We lost. I don't know. It maybe an easy win for them because we really played bad. So we make this mistake for the last season, and now we know that we don't have to make this mistake again. And after finals, we have to really be happy that we will be happy if we win this title, but we have to focus. So it's a bit of mix between the happiness and staying focused because we can do stupid things after this final.
Yeah, when we spoke to Konstantinos Giannadounis, he said a similar thing about Olympiakos last season in the Champions League. They won their league about a week before the final eight competition, and they obviously, although they were struck by a few illnesses and stuff, they really didn't perform that well in the final eight competition. And yeah, it's a really difficult thing to do. But whoever's in the final for the French league this season, whether it's yourselves, Tourcoing, Strasbourg, or Noisy, it'll be really exciting. And my colleague at Total, Ivan, has been doing a really good job reporting on that. So yeah, we'll look forward to see whoever lifts the trophy at the end. But you've mentioned Champions League, and that's where we're now going to turn our attention to. And it's been a really, really good performance by Marseille this season, and yourself and your teammates. You're second in Group B. You're mathematically secured a final eight position in Belgrade, and you've been really impressive. 11-game unbeaten streak, obviously ended a few weeks ago against Jug, but there's some really good wins in that 11-game winning streak. Away at Jug, away at OSC in Hungary, away at Red Star. Did that winning streak give you confidence? Does it give you confidence now that you can go to Belgrade and you can perhaps win the Champions League?
Well, at the beginning of the year, and also for the last season, our goal is to win Champions League. And this year, we saw in the season that we really are able to do this, but it obviously won't be easy. We have to train a lot to be really serious because it's three games in 3 days. It will be really hard, but we did a great season because we didn't lose any game until Jung, between Rico and Jung, and we play against Rico next week. So I think we get a lot of confidence in ourselves by beating everyone, by playing that good games. Even when we just before Hanover, we were in a national team, and directly we didn't even go back in Marseille. We directly meet the rest of the team in Hanover, and we managed to win and to play really good with these circumstances. So we know that we can really be a strong team, and our I don't know our strongest point is that we are really always together. Always, everyone is a friend in the team. It's really a big family. There is not any problem in the team. We are really really close to each other, and we know that in the game you can feel it. And if you are really close to someone out of the water, you will really close to him in the water. That's why when we lost against Jug, it it we didn't lose any games for the Warriors, so it was not unexpected, but a bit hard to lose a game. But we know that we are all friends. And 1 hour after, everyone went out to say that it's normal to lose game. We can't win everything, and it's maybe even better to lose because after in Champions League we have to before Champions League we have to work a lot, and this lose make us that we are still far from this. But if we are work hard for the next months and the preparation before Champions League, we know that we can do every result here, even win Champions League. So it's always hard to come back from a lose after 11 game without any lose, but I think it's good for mental health for preparation this lose.
You said there that at the beginning of the season it was Marseille's aim to win the Champions League. Did you all sit down and agree on this, or is this just something that you think Marseille should be doing. I mean, if you look at Marseille's Champions League record in the last 5 years or so, 2016, 2017 didn't get out of the group, 2018 didn't participate. The same in 2019. Obviously the season was cancelled in 2020. Obviously, last season you did make the final eight. It shows progress. But do you believe that Marseille can win the Champions League? You mentioned that up next you've got Pro Recco. They beat you at the first match day of the Champions League. This game, in some ways, doesn't mean a lot. Both of you are safe for the final eight, but it would be a massive statement if you could go to Recco and snatch a win. So do you think you need to win that game to prove to people that you are capable of beating the best teams?
I don't think we have to win any games to prove to other people that we can win Champions League, because I think now everyone with the result, with even with national team, everyone is seeing that the French players are really doing a great job. And even in Marseille, we managed to win every game in Champions League except record for the first game, and now Hugh. So I think everyone knows that Marseille is here, and that will go in Belgrade to win Champions League. And we know we are able to do this. And as I said, we have to prepare a lot and to be mentally prepared to make games at this level. But we know that we can win. And the game in Reco next week is really important, because it it will show our level, because we didn't played a lot together with Marseille because of the national team. But after, we don't have to put a lot of pressure on us, because as you said, we are for sure second of the group, so it won't change anything. But like with national team in the World League, we have to play good, to play our level for the mental, that if, even if we lose or if we lose, it won't change anything. Just we have to play our game, and we are sure that if we play good, we can beat them in their home. But it won't be easy, obviously. And most importantly, we play in Tourcoing this Saturday. We come back Sunday in Marseille, and Monday morning we leave again for Echo. And after Echo, we had the semi-final against Tourcoing and Marseille 2 days ago. So it will be a hard moment for us, and we will try to win every games. But obviously, for the next 3 games, the most important thing is to be in the final of French Championship. And I think we are not going to say that we have to win in Reco, but most importantly, we have to play good there, and to not to lost our play style, or to go crazy, and to be mentally struggle in this game. We just have to play good, and everything will be good, and we'll see what will happen in Belgrade.
Yeah, it's a tight turnaround for you guys. Obviously, going to Italy, that separates those semi-finals, and it's going to be a lot of pressure in some ways physically, but hopefully you guys can come through it. I just want to speak to you now, Thomas, about French water polo, and obviously I want to speak about the state of French water polo. I want to speak about the preparations for Paris, and I also want to talk a little bit about, if we have time, about the European Championships at the end of this summer. I'm first going to just read a quote from Romain Barnier, and he said in September last year, the last time France won an Olympic medal in water polo was in 1928. We are the best in France, Marseille, but not internationally. We can only improve the French team by bringing in the best from other countries and making sure every player improves, even the top guys. The minute you stop working to get better is the moment you lose your edge. Now, with that quote in mind, French water polo does seem to be heading in the right direction. Some would argue, maybe cynically, that money is the reason. But do you think there's something else behind the upward trajectory of French water polo?
Uh, I can't answer this, but I think it's since Olympics in the 2016 that we were qualified for the first time in the last 12 years, I think, or 25, I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. We didn't go to Olympics, and after that we started to feel something that we can do something, we can improve ourselves, and the, um, the there were a lot of young like Roman, my cousin, like me, that and Boué, who is also in Marseille, that there maybe 5 or 6 young that who can really improve, and that we see in the national teams that really experimented players, Hugo, Marzuki, Sodaji, etc., that are really good for the team, and they are the best player of the team. But we see also in the team that there are young players who play in a good club in French league that are here for the national team, and they are really high level for the national team. And I think this mix can be really good for us, and this we everyone can feel it. But and it started with, I think, with Marseille, that we won the Land World Cup, that French are here, French players here, and can win a lot of trophies. And we started to see it also with the national team, that everything is going up. And now with Barnier, people like Barnier in Marseille are trying to put the water polo at a higher level by obviously spending a lot of money in it to invest in it. But he's also, without money, trying to do the best thing, that taking strangers foreign players in our team that are good for the French water polos, that are good for our team. Not only good player, but players that can improve the team, and players in team for the French players. But there is also Florian Bouzeau, the new head coach in national team, who was there in 2016, who is making for the last 3 months. I don't know how many things he did for the national team, for the club, for Marseille, for every club, for every player in Marseille. He's giving us everything we need to to be good and to be the best team we can be until Paris. But they're giving us everything. But now it's the job of our player to be good, and to respect what they did, and to give it back to them, that to train seriously, to win club that we will be able to train with players that you will play in a national team. And that's all the things that we are for now doing. I think for now we are doing good. But if we want to win something in Paris, we'll have to do it uh, again more and more until Paris for the next 2 years. 2 years is really really short, so we'll have to do it uh, as I don't know how to say, but we are doing good, but it can be just good. We have to doing great, amazing.
Right, I think Vieko Kobalska actually said something very similar to that. It can't just be good; it has to be more than good for you guys to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Well, we've spoken a bit about Paris, and we'll talk about it now, I guess. Um, all being well, and I don't want to tempt fate or anything. All being well, you are very much a player that the French national team will want to build around heading into Paris. You're going to benefit personally massively from the investment that's come into French water polo, the improvement of the league, and in many ways the stars have aligned for you. You're growing as a player, and you're going to really, really be maybe not your peak, maybe scarily, maybe your peak will be beyond that, but you're going to be really prominent for the Olympics. And it's not a dream, and it's not a fantasy, because France are going to be there as the host country. There's an argument that they might well have qualified anyway. I mean, it's not too long ago that France qualified for the Brazil Olympics. So some players potentially will be getting will be going to a second Olympics, which, for people in France to hear that players will be going to not one but two Olympic Games is remarkable. Do you remember hearing that the Olympics would be held in Paris? Do you remember hearing the announcement?
I I really don't remember. I just at the moment I was in Nigeria, just thought about Tokyo to qualify in Tokyo, and after I knew that it was in Paris. But problem is the difference between Tokyo and Paris is that in Tokyo we weren't qualified, and in Paris we are qualified. But our objective is just not to be qualified in Olympics. We qualified ourselves in 2016, and now our goal is to be obviously qualified, but to go further and to try to win something, just not to be qualified. So we didn't manage to qualify ourselves in Tokyo, but now if we want to really play water polo and to do sport, we are already qualified in Paris. We can't say that we just go there. Well, we did Olympics, but we did, if we don't do anything there, it won't be something good. I think it's just Olympics in your country. You are qualified, but you qualified. You are in national team is good, but our objection now, it was obviously a dream. If you asked me this question 5 years ago to win a medal in Olympics, mostly in Paris, but now we know that it's an objective to win something in Paris, and we are making everything to win something. But I don't remember the time when we heard that it will be in Paris. I remember that it was between Los Angeles and Paris, but I don't remember the real time it will be in Paris, because even if it was in 2024 in 2028 between Los Angeles and Paris, I knew that I will be there for the national team and I will do Olympics. But even if it was in Los Angeles, our goal will be to do a medal. It's in Paris, so it's even it's even better to do a medal in your country, like France did in football in World Cup in 83, in 1998, because you are in your country, so it's something amazing. And mostly Olympics, it's amazing to play in your country for Olympics. So it can be a better moment to win a medal in the Olympics. But obviously, if we manage to be a team to a level to win a medal in Paris, we'll obviously will try to win every medal of every competition until Paris, and after Paris for all of the Olympics, for the European Championship, World Championship. Our goal is now to be in the top 8, top 4 teams always in every competition. So we'll see what will happen.
Some of the key players in your squad, not you, but some of the others, are getting on a bit. They're now a little bit older. You've got the likes of Ugo Cruciat, you've got Mehdi Marzuki, Remy Sodadier. You know, they will be in their mid to late 30s, maybe mid 30s, in Paris. Um, some of them are they've been to Rio and they've competed at the Olympics before. Have you spoken to them about what the experience could be like, what they would do? They are getting their time again. Hopefully they'll be there, so they'll have another opportunity to compete. Are they advising you on the sort of things you should be doing and making sure you have no regrets in preparing for the Olympics?
I didn't really ask them a question about what I should do, but I just was surprised that I didn't even think that about for the holidays, that they wanted to do until Paris, because they started to be old. Training every day can be hard at this age. You maybe want to go further in your life and to stop sport, but the motivation to go in Paris to do at the best level what they are doing every day to be good at their age, you can't when you are young, you can see them doing everything and think that yourself you will just be good because you are young. You are training normally, so you will be good by seeing the oldest player of the team doing. I don't know how many things they do to, because their body can't really resist to this training, like we player like me, like young player resist in training. They are most the most important, that really more tired than us. They don't sleep that how we sleep, so it's really hard for them. And everything that they are doing is I think they can do better things to be in shape for Paris. So my mentality is that if they are doing everything like this, I can't. I can do less things than us, and I have to really make everything I can to be at my best level at every training, every day. I have to think about it like they are doing.
More immediately, you've got European Championships in Split to prepare for. You qualified well, on top of the group, level with Germany. Are you excited for this competition? Um, I guess I'm asking, what are your hopes for the competition, for your team, for you personally? The European Championships is actually a really, really difficult competition. There is an argument to be made. It may be more difficult or a higher standard than the Olympics. Maybe in the men's game that might be true. So what are you hoping for personally and as a team?
The Open Championship is our first big competition. Not the new team because we knew each other for last years, but with the new, I don't know how to say in English, but the new mentality for Paris, the new excitement for Paris, because there is from those who came, and there's I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 member in the staff, so everything is good for us. Everything we see that we are improving every day. That we managed to win Spain in Reims. We managed to play 2 good games in Podgorica. Now we have and we managed to finish first of the group in World League. So we know that we can do great things, but we know that we can do really bad things. That we did a draw against Germany in Slovenia. So we know that we can do great things. And the problem of French national team it was always that we can do really great things, but after, like we do I said in Slovenia or even in Rotterdam, after the Olympics qualification tournament, that we lost against Netherlands, and we struggled against Canada. It was really bad game for us, so we know that we can beat Greece. We lost against them in penalty in Rotterdam, but after that we were really bad team. We didn't play good, and now we had to avoid this and to play every game good, and that will what will happen in the European Championship in Speed, because it's a really long tournament, 2 weeks. Every 2 days we have a game. We have really high level games. We have less level games. Every game is important in the European Championship, and we have to think to beat every team. We'll play against Croatia, Malta, and Greece, and we know that we can win every games, but we also know that by the past we can lose every game and struggle in every game. So it will be a really big test for us, because it will be our first big competition, and like every games we have really to think to be at our level, and to be ourselves, because the team that will play in the Open Championship will be the same we played in the World Championship if we are qualified, and we'll play in Paris, and every next competition, if we want to win anything, we'll play against those teams. So I think it will be a really good test for us, and obviously, by the result we did, and the ambition we have, we want to do a medal, and maybe to win the Open Championship, but we will not say that we'll win Open Championship, because we can't have the not the ambition, but we can say that we will do it, because we didn't play with national team after quarterfinal, 3 games like this at this level, to prepare every 2 days a really big team with national team. So it will be a new thing for us if we play good in Split, but it will be most importantly a test, and something that we know if we are able to go until Paris and to be at really good level.
Yeah, your assessment's exactly right. New coach, new team, new mindset. It's going to be a big test. You know, you're in a difficult group. You've got Greece, you've got Croatia. who are the hosts, obviously, both of whom you've pushed closely, certainly recently in World League. It'll be really, really interesting and fascinating to see how you guys get on, and I'm certainly looking forward to that competition. Look, Thomas, we've got some quickfire questions in part two, so we'll just take a break and then come back.
Okay, perfect.
Welcome back to the Total Waterpolo Podcast. This week we're with Thomas Vernoux, and this is the part where we read out questions that you've sent in on social media. Before we do that, like always, Thomas, we ask all of our guests to give their dream seven, their ultimate team of players past or previous, players they've played with or against. So you have to pick a team, 7 players. Who will they be?
Oh, it's a hard question. I am in the team or no?
You can be if you like. Yeah, why not? You're the captain. You're the captain.
I'm the captain of the team. I have to choose a player. Um, I don't know, because if I answer myself, I will try. I will choose a player that I am playing with. But in center, I will play Cosmin Wado, because I don't have. I don't know between him and Ivan Perez, but I didn't ever saw Ivan Perez played, because I was too young, and I play against Cospinano. I know his mentality is really great, and he did a great job for 20 years with club, with national team. He's really an example for me. So I have to pick him.
Yeah.
In left side, I think I'll pick Hugo Kuzia. I obviously have to pick him, because for the last 5 years he's like a brother for me, and I have to pick him, because I love to play with him. I love his play style, and I think he's really obviously one of the best player in left hander in the world. But in the right side, I am speaking about him. Let me see, but I really love him to play with him, and I think he's really a great player. And after him, with him, I think I play take I don't maybe a right hander, because Greek like Gini Dunyas, maybe, because I know he's really a good guy, and he really can be good with Hugo. I think they can have a good connection, because they can do work for each other, and they can be a really good combo. In back defender, I don't uh, I really don't know, because there are a lot of great player in the back defender, but the one I play against, and I saw the most of it, is Alexic, and I loved his play style. It was in attack or in defender. I really loved this player, and I had to to struggle to play against him. So I think I will take him. In left side, I will I'll pick Mehdi Marzouki from French League, because he's really for me he's really good, and for the team he's a really good mentality. I pick him because I know his mentality for the team, what everything he is doing, and I think for the last 2-3 years he's really one of the best right hander in the world, and everything he's doing in the national team and club, he's really a great player. And for me, I really love to play with him, and to spend time with him. So I think I will take him. And with him, there's really a lot of players that I can put in left side. So
It's not easy.
no, because there are really a lot of players to choose, and I don't want to pick another player that I know are really I know
I
from
know
club.
there's already two French players in the
Yeah.
team. Why not add a third? You haven't got a goalkeeper yet, by the way.
Yeah, for goalkeeper, I think I will play Daniel Lopez Pinedo, because I love the man how he is playing. I played 1 or 2 games against him. We ago in Barcelona, played against Barceloneta with Marseille, and I know he's really a funny guy, really a good guy for the team. He's doing really a lot of things for the team. Yeah, and I think he made me think about another player in Spain, Barceloneta. It's Felipe Perón, because I will pick him in with Mazuki in left side, because I know that he's really a good guy. He's really an example of everything he's doing. I don't really know what he's him out of the water, but I know in the water. We saw that he's doing everything for his teammate. He not 1 second thinking about him, but everything that he can do for the rest of the team. And I think he can be really a great player.
Look, I'm just going to read back that team to you. You got Ugo Crucia, you got Cosmin Radu, Alexander Ivovic, Konstantinos Genadunias, Mehdi Marzuki, Danny Lopez in goal, and Felipe Peroni. Actually, you might not be aware, but Cosmin, Konstantinos, and Felipe have all been on the podcast. So you'd be the fourth person out of that list to be on the podcast. So yeah, you're in good company, or I am. One of us is. That's a really good team. I like it, and yeah, it's one of the better teams we've had. And yeah, let's move on to the next question. Now, this next question is something we got about maybe. I'm not overplaying it. We got maybe like 5 or 6 questions, basically the same. The person that's asked it is der_Sarch, who says, "Do you picture yourself playing outside of France one day, and if so, where?"
I would say I want him in my career to play outside France, because he can it can really be a good improvement for myself to see how water polo is doing in training, or in the life of every day, or how it can be in in foreign country. So I want to go in foreign country for. I don't know when it can be the next season. It can be in 10 years, but I want to go in foreign club in my career. But for now, I don't know. I can transfer this, because I I don't think about where to go. I obviously wants to go. I have some club in my head that I maybe want one day to go, but I can say I will go there, because I don't know how will be the club at this time, who will be the coach, what will be the team, etc. So I will see how the thing will be, but I want to go in another club of France in my career.
It's a difficult question. You never know what's going to happen, but I think from what you've just said, you're very interested in going abroad. I assume that you've had offers, but it's unlikely for you to leave before the Paris Olympics. Is that a fair assessment?
Uh, I don't know, because it can be a really good improvement for myself to leave France, to go in another club, because it's a really good improvement. I think in the career it's really important. But in another hand, I know that to play with your teammates of national team in your club is really a good thing for the team. But I I don't know, because we are the national team. We'll be national team really a lot every summer. Every time we have the week of West, we are playing with them. We are doing a lot of preparation with national team. So I don't know how things will be until Paris, but it's not something I'd avoid. I know that I can't go in foreign country before Paris. It won't be a problem, I think.
Next question, and this is from a friend of yours, Dams_WP6. You know where this is going.
Yeah, I saw this.
May you explain to us where your nickname La Bomba comes from? What does it mean? What does La Bomba mean? Does it mean the bomber?
Yeah, it's like a bomb, but it's a nickname that it was when I play in with a young team in Marseille. It was the father of one of my teammates, who is a really close friend now. It was the player was Louis Grandi, and his father was Michel Grandi, and he was here every day making you can't imagine the noise he can make in the public when he is here. And when I scored or when I was making a good action, he used to yell in the public, "Toma la bomba!" But it was really something who marked me and marked every player, everyone in the league, because he yelled every game. He's really a great person, and I love him, and everything he made when he was here with his son, it was really amazing, and that's why he has this question. But it's it's mostly a joke, because he obviously know where this came from, but it's not a nickname that I am used to hear now, because most of the player which one I played in the national team are not in Marseille now, or Total Waterpolo, or played in other clubs. But it's always funny to hear this.
So he used to shout La Bomba at you when you used to score. I'm definitely in favour of telling all your Marseille teammates to reinstate that nickname. If you don't hear it anymore, it's a good one. It's a good one. Moving on, I think this is quite an interesting one, and I'm going to try not to ruin the name. But Lele Dobo Rignizide said, "What is the best position in water polo?" So he's asking what you think the best position is in water polo, and then I think I might add on to that. What do you think your best position is in water polo?
There is something funny about it, because when you are water pro players, I don't know if it's a joke or a winning, I don't know, but we are always saying that centers and back defender are the ones that are struggling in the training, because they're always in duels, always getting punched, always really hard training, and the other players are just making the easy job by easily score goals, amazing goals at the middle of the field. But this is just a joke that we are making between us, and I don't think I have the best position in water polo. Every position is good. If you are a good player, you will be great at in any position, and there is no good position. It's like in football, obviously. The position where you can the most easy score is the position where the public you will tell you after the game that yeah, you score 8 goals in the game, you are the best player. But no one will see that when a back defender will go 2 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters the whole game to avoid that the centers can score, or the players will take the best left hander, who will go in center with him, who will go outside, who will doing the defense, everything. There is no best position in water polo, and most importantly in water polo, maybe centers and back defender are something apart, but when you are playing in the left side or right side, you will play maybe in the wing, maybe after we will be outside, maybe in attack you will have to be in position 3. After a defense, they will go with you in center. So the position change a lot, and you have to know how to play everywhere. So I don't think that say there is a best position in water polo. And for myself, I don't know where I prefer to play, because obviously it's always good to. For me, it's always a pleasure, or not a pleasure, but something surprising for me to play outside, because I'm not used to play outside. So when I am outside, I'm always happy. I want to do plenty of things, but I know that my prediction position and where I feel the best is in center, to in center, sometimes back defender, because I know that I love to be in contact, to grab each other, to really be in contact, and the water polo is part of contact. So I prefer. I know that if one season they will tell me that you will play outside, at the end of the season, I know that I will tell them now I want to be in center, because I can't be a whole season in outside, but I always love to play outside.
So you probably think you're better at centre forward, but you like to play on the outside. Um, Fine. Moving on, and three people asked this question. I wonder if there's anything in it. But Dodd Matu Kapuliasis and Arcade Makaya 45 said, "Why number 6? Why not any other number? You play 6 for club and country. Why did you choose number 6?"
It wasn't really a choice because the first year I started that was number 11, I think. And when I was young, I was number 10. But when I was younger, I was number 10 because just I wanted to be 10. I don't know why, just let's say this. And my cousin Roman took the number of Jan. And me, I took the number who was here. It was the sixth, my second season, because a player stopped his season with Marseille and with national teams the same years. And he was. Number 6, it was Thibaut Simon, and I really love him, and for me it was a chance to get his number after his career, because he's really a good guy. He was a great player. He did a lot of things for Marseille and for the national team. So I I can be more happy to have the number of player like him, and now I have number 6, and it fit me. I don't care about playing any number. I didn't care about playing any number, but now I feel good with the 6, so I won't change the number 6, because I think it's really it's really good for me. And so in me, I know I'm the number 6, so it's like that.
Yeah, I mean, do you really care about your number? We've all had teammates that, maybe at training or when it comes to games, they're like, "Oh, I need to be number 7. I need to be number 3. I need to be number 10." Do you really care? Would you care if your coach turned around to you next week and said, "Actually, we want you to be number 8 now"? Would you care that much?
If I care if he proposed me to you have to choose between 6 or 8 or 9 or every number, I would choose 6. Here I have the choice. I will take 6, obviously. But if he tell me another player wants the 6, okay, take the 6, and we'll take any number I have. I don't care about this, but now it's my number. I played all season with this number, so it's like this, and I don't want to change it. But if I have to change it, I change it in problems and in training. I don't like to have 6. I don't know why. I know that number 6 is for the game, so I only take 6 for the games, and for training I try to avoid the number 6.
Fine, fine. That's clear. Um, We've got a question here. It's quite an interesting one. Stylianos underscore KU said, "Who is the strongest player you've ever played against?"
Player or team?
Yeah, why not both? I mean, player and or team.
Player, I think when I play in center, it will be Alexander Ivovic.
Yep.
But a few years ago, because now with the new rules, etc., he can play really how he wants to play, and he's more playing in position 4 and not in back defender, because now back defender are taking a lot of exclusion with the new rules, so it's really hard to to be a perfect back defender in with the new rules. But I think because he's really strong, he really a lot of experience. He's really great by defender, as we know, as we see, and obviously in defense and in attack he's really destructive, as we see with the Montenegro or Zreco. He's really a player that he can do everything. He can 2 meters, 2 meters. He won't say anything to in many of his teammates. You can put him out of his game. He will always stay in focus, always stay in his game. So it's really hard to play against him. And play against a team, the best team I played. I don't know it. I think I can't say anything, because I we try to play every game like it is the best team in the world. So every game is really hard, and you can't really say more team. Maybe Fran Varoche for the Super Cup that we play in Marseille, and at the half break we were winning, and after they completely destroyed us in the second half, and there was really a good team at this point. So I think it would be Fenerbahce in the Lens Super Cup.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at least you played them in Marseille. If you played them in Budapest, that would have been a really difficult game. Their fans are pretty vocal and pretty passionate. So yeah, that's fair enough. Alexander Ivovic and Ferencváros. Hope that answers the question. We've got a question from a teammate. We've got a question from Igor Kovacevic. And he's written to us and he said, "Who's your favourite teammate, and why is it Igor Kovacevic?"
I won't say
is he
him
your
because
favourite? I mean,
no, I won't say him because
it's
he
Ugo,
will be
no?
so annoying after this.
It's Ugo.
And he's more like my my financial partner now than my partner and teammate, because he was speaking about economy and financial issues and than water polo or anything else.
Right.
So but I don't know. I can say I would say a lot of players I can say any name, because if my teammates know that I love them, and I can't pick one between all of my teammates, because every player is different. Every player is really a good person for me. So I can say anyone.
Very diplomatic. Sorry, Igor. You're gonna have to stop talking about politics and economics if you want to make friends with Tom. We've got two more. The penultimate question we have is from ZV_Milogov, and it's a bit of a silly question in some ways, but we'll ask it anyway. Are the coaches of the French national team good at all? And follow-up question: has Vieco tried to recruit you for Jug yet?
What was the first question?
Are the coaches any good? I mean, evidently they're
Yeah,
good.
no,
I mean, it goes without saying, really, but
there's something, if you really want to improve yourself and to be a good player, is that every coach is good. Every coach has his feeling about the game, his vision about the game, and his vision about training, etc. So you just have to tell yourself, and I know that it is the truth. People tell me this, and I know now this is the truth. Every coach is good. Every coach will do mistake. Every coach will do bad thing, but every coach is a good person for you, and every coach will try to make you a better player. So you can say a coach is good. You can say, obviously, for you feel better with a coach than another, but for me and for most of the player, every coach is good. You can say one coach was bad, or he's not making a great job, because he's doing most of the time his maximum for the team, and his objective is to make you better and to get his team at the best level. He thinks the way he thinks it's the best. So you can say that the coach is bad, I think.
yeah. And has Vieco tried to recruit you for Jug?
You before he arrives in the national team, Hugh called me for this season. So it was last year. But I had a really good relationship with Dzeko, but this year he didn't tell me about this, and I know it can be a hard thing, because he's now in national team, and I don't know if he'll ask me or anything, but the problem is that if he's speaking to me, or if we are making things public, everyone will speak about this. Everyone will say he's national team just to take player from
Of
national team.
course. Of course,
So
yeah.
I don't know how things will happen, but for the next season, he didn't ask me.
Of course. No, it's a bit of a cheeky question, and Vieco's a professional and all the rest of it,
Yeah.
and he's going to really help out you and the French team, and he's a massive asset going into all the upcoming tournaments, including the Olympics. One last question. We end on this question for all our guests. What do you do with yourself when you're not playing water polo? What do you do to relax? got any other hobbies, things you take an interest in? I know you said earlier that you potentially would like to be an engineer when you're older. Can you tell our listeners and give some insight into you as a person?
As I said in the beginning of the interview, my parents really made me feel free. So everything that I want to do, I will do it, and I really I do lot of things. But the things outside water polo who take me most of the time, obviously school. But I used to play pianos the last 2 years, and I am really interested in astronomy. That's why I study to be engineer in math and physics. That's something that really interested me. And after that, I really love to eat food, to eat good food. Really I really love to try things, to eat good food. So I always ask my mom to do cakes, to go to in France we had really good cakes. So I always try to taste new things, to go in a restaurant with my friend, etc. To eat something new, because really something new where I feel good. And after this, I think that's mostly for I played a bit it in video games. I watch Netflix like everyone do, but nothing really important.
Do you like football?
Football, I watch football like I watch every sport. I don't really like football. That's not a sport that really
You don't
interests me,
support
because
Marseille?
yeah, obviously we are in Marseille, so football in Marseille is like a religion. It's really something important. The city lives at the rhythm of Olympique de Marseille. So obviously I watch a lot of games of Marseille. I went to the Velodrome to see game of Marseille, but football is not something I really the sport like I really like to watch. The sports I watch most watch. I don't even watch a lot of sport, but when it's good big competition like World Championship or mostly the Olympics, I really love to watch sports like you are not used to watch, like every sport in the Olympics. It's
Yeah,
amazing to see sport like this
yeah,
in this competition.
yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Look, Thomas, thank you so much. You've been really fun to speak to. English is very good. I wish you all the best um, for the French finals, for the Champions League, and hopefully we'll see you in Split for the European Championships.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone that asked question, and it was a really good thing for me to do this interview. So thank you.
Sometimes you can just tell that someone is committed beyond belief to achieve their goals, and Thomas is so determined to help his team to win, and needless to say, he's deadly focused on preparing for the Olympic Games in front of his home crowd in Paris 2024. He might well be a generational talent. Like, we don't know how far this young man can go. He's got so much potential. The sky is really the limit for Thomas, and let's hope that he can achieve everything he wants to achieve in the game and much more. Look, guys, thank you very much for tuning in this week. As I said at the beginning of the show, apologies for a bit of a gap in shows, but we've got some really exciting guests coming up, and they should be lined up now for the next few weeks, building into the World Champs in Budapest. So I hope you keep enjoying the content. As I said at the beginning, make full use of our podcast discount code, podcast10 at werewaterpolo.com. Save yourselves a bit of money, get a nice bit of stash, and if you can like, subscribe, review, share, all the buzzwords to help this show out, I appreciate it massively, and the company appreciates it massively. Look after yourselves, guys, and we'll see you next week.